Today I'm going to show you some details about our sanding machine. And why? Because for us it's a real time saver. This machine can keep up with the production of the CNC routers. And it's taking away a lot of the tedious jobs. And we have this machine now for, I think, about 2 years, maybe a little bit shorter. And I'm just come around right now to make the video because I was busy. And at the moment we have a nice project that is really good for our sanding machine. So I thought this is the best chance to make a video. And I like to talk about machines. Okay, this cabinet is for Fischer. They make wall plugs and screws and that kind of stuff. And they bought 200 sets of us to put in stores like the Dutch variant of Home Depot. We call it Hornbach or Baumaat, whatever. It's a really simple concept. We will package it as a flat pack and the customer can just slide it together. Everything is like this and you can take this out. It's all flat like you can see here, but also a lot of edges. By the way, a really nice feature about this cabinet that is it fits exactly out of one sheet of wood. So we have a sheet of 120 centimeters by 240 centimeters. In American terms, that's 4 feet by 8 feet, you call it, I think. And one sheet is one entire cabinet. That's ideal. 200 cabinets, 200 sheets, only the same program on the CNC router, and you're done. But sanding. This is a nice looking wood, but it has a really thin top veneer for price, because it's affordable. What you can see is, I hope, all the little rough edges. We need to sand it. And you can do a manual, of course, but it comes out the machine like this. We didn't touch this. It has a nice broken edge, gebroken randje, we call it in the Netherlands. And also the material has a nice soft feeling to it. I'm going to show you how it's done. Let's go! Yeah. To show you how efficient this machine can be, I've made a short time lapse of one guy standing here, just loading the machine, one guy on the other side unloading. It takes about between 5 and 10 seconds per part to load it in the machine. So, and then you have to wait when it's gone, and you can keep adding parts. 5 to 10 seconds. It's not possible to finish everything as nicely as this machine does in 5 to 10 seconds. So, what was a tedious and boring job is still a tedious and boring job, but a lot more healthy and a lot quicker. That's the reason for us to invest in a machine like this. What we have here is a really simple machine. There's no CNC controller, there's no software, it's just a bunch of inverters and a bunch of switches. You have the conveyor belt system, and the conveyor belt will just move the parts through the machine. We have one unit of rotating sanders that will just do the basic sanding. Then we have a roller system that's just one big spool that will turn clockwise. And we have a second spool that will turn counterclockwise. Each unit you can adjust in height. We almost never do it, but if you need, you can. Just turn this and you can adjust the height of all the 3 sanding units. Of course, the height of the conveyor belt is adjustable with a motor. You can just use the platform up, platform down button. I'll show the motions that will help with the sanding results. That's this one. Oh, first start. We don't need the dust collector at the moment because you can't hear me. What you see, this is the front and back motion of the machine. It's a really simple system. And it will just do this all day long. When I start the rotors, you will see the sanding effect. I'll get the camera and get a close-up view. To show the basic principle of the big sanding unit we have over there, I'm going to show you the manual one, because technically it works the same. Only it's for smaller parts and not as fast as the automated unit. How does it work? You have a rotating wheel with sandpaper. Try to get it out. It's a bit stuck. Another one. There we go. You have the sanding paper that is laser cut into all small strips, and behind that you have a brush. This one, as you can see, is a bit worn out, and we're going to replace it quite fast. What you get is a big brush for strength and a sanding paper for the removal of the edges and burrs and whatever. When I put my hand through, you can see that it will follow the structure of my hand. So when you put a piece of wood through it, you can see, this is difficult to see, but as you can see, it will follow the shape, and in the end it will even sand the edges. Now let's put this back really quick. As you can see, replacing the sandpaper is quite easy, but also really convenient. On the big machine, for some reason it doesn't wear. We had the sandpaper in for a year, still fine results. I'm going to show you. You can see the edges here. This is a bad part. I've chosen this because it's not that nicely cut, and I'm going to pull it over. You can adjust this rotating speed. We also always have it at full speed. There is a bit of finesse to it. It's not dangerous or anything. You can just touch it, but it doesn't feel nice. So when you're standing behind it all day, you'll need a good technique, otherwise you will have really clean hands. This was really quick. I'm going to show you the middle hole because that's the nicest. As you can see, for that quick operation, it is quite a nice result. Now I'm going to show you the automated unit. Because all the small parts we do on the manual machine, and all the big parts we do on the conveyor belt system. Let's talk a bit about how you control the machine. It's really basic. You have the green power button, and I can't operate it right now because the door is open, safety feature. If you start this one, you can move the platform up and down, and there you can see the height. Normally, if the material is 15 millimeters thick, we put the height at 10, so that the sanding paper will have about 5 millimeters of compression into the part. if you understand what I mean. Conveyor belt on and off, that explains itself. The speed of the conveyor belt, we normally have it at 20. Really large parts with soft wood, we can pull the speed up to 30 or something, but 20 for us is mostly fine. Swing, so the movement of the sanding units, start-stop for the sanding units, and the speed of the sanding units. We always have it at 50 Hertz. That's it. Only for the guys with a keen eye, you can see all the little holes in the conveyor belt. And that is a really nice feature, which I really love, because sanding small parts will make everything fly around in the machine. And yes, there are pressure rollers that will keep the part in place, but sometimes the part is so small that it's not being kept down by the roller. Then you have this, the holes, and that's nothing more than a really big vacuum, like that motor. It's an 11 kilowatt motor. It's just a really big fan, dust collecting system, but it's also creating a lot of negative pressure, and we only use this unit for small parts. We have 4 connectors that go to exactly the 4 places where there is sanding action, and they will create a big vacuum through those 4 tubes, as you can see, I hope. Yes, those dust collecting tubes, and it will create an amazing downforce that when the part is like this, it's really difficult to move, and it helps a lot in the end result. So the brand is in Dataway, DTW. The type is Y2H2. It's heavy, it's simple, it's no nonsense. It has been working for us for a few years now, 1.5 or 2, something like that. And it's we need this machine as much as we need a CNC router. I hope it's been functional for you guys, because this is what we do with it. A lot of sanding. And with this machine, we can offer the sanding process for a really nice price. So the customer is happy and we have more sales. And of course, our job is nicer because sanding isn't that much fun.